So tell me a bit about how you established yourself shooting concert tours, national artists, music videos, and then how did you get linked in with Krizz Kaliko?
So it started off, like I said, just being in the bands and doing our own music videos and stuff like that, playing double duty. And then after the bands broke up, I had a lot of people reach out to me and want stuff done. I'm like, all right, I'll try this out, Started off as just kind of like a side little thing, I'll come out and shoot these for these buddies. And then people started seeing it and they're contacting me and just worked that way for years with
Yeah.
tons of local bands. And I have like 3 or 4 of the diehard locals that to this day still come to me. They've been working with me for 8 years and they won't go to anybody else for a music video. So I'm like, no, I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And then, as I progressed, then I would go shoot guys at, like Lefty's Live Music in Des Moines and started interacting with some of the national bands that would come through there, some of the bigger bands that I had grown up to or respected and wanted to work for, and just networked, just everything is about networking, just making an impression on people, just kind of showing them what you have to offer. And
Can you talk a little bit more about that real quick? Just networking. How do you present yourself to someone that's, at a level or at a status that is, most people would fangirl over. Most people would, have that starstruck, just stammering. How did you manage to get past that and just present yourself in a way that they were attracted to you?
so part of it started off years before that, before I was doing this, of just going to shows, and I was the guy that would stand at the back door, wait for these artists to leave, want to meet them, and then kind of got through my fangirling phase that way.
Okay.
So that kind of helped out. But to this day, I still fangirl when I get to work with some of these artists that it's like, I admire you. I grew up on you. I love you. So it's keeping that cool, learning how to keep that cool. But at the same time, just presenting yourself as naturally, like just being yourself. Like, don't be fake. Don't be over the top. Just present yourself as who you are, what you do, that you appreciate the work that they do. Because at the end of the day, they're just normal people.
Yeah.
It's even like Krizz. Like, I still to this day when I get together with them after a period of time, I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Because I've been listening to him for 25 years now.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like just kicking it in his house, like he's just a normal guy. Like the music is his second thing. His real life, his family, his wife and kids. That's his number one. And it's like, once you remember that part of it, I think you learn to respect more of their work in a much deeper way. But also it helps with getting that interaction with some of these people, because some of these guys, they see that all the time. So it's like, okay, this guy's cool. He's legit. Like, he's got some good work. And so that's kind of how I started off. I started working with like Head PE, Julian K, a couple bands like that were bigger national bands, and then just kind of progressed from there. But yeah, for Krizz, like I said, I've been listening to him since I was 13.
Yeah.
I'm 37 now.
Yeah. Wow.
So a long time. And
How did you make that connection to him?
in the beginning,
Yeah.
so actually my buddy, when I was in middle school, I've been like 8th grade.
Okay.
He was listening to this song called "I'm a Playa" by Tech Nine and Krizz Kaliko, and I had no idea who they were. I'd never heard of them. Nothing. He had me listen to it. I'm like, all right, this is all right. Then he had me listen to another song, and I'm like, yeah, it's all right. Well, they were coming to Des Moines. They used to have like this Toad Holler, which was like an amateur boxing bar.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know
And
about this.
so way back in the day, and like we weren't old enough to get in there, so him and I had to get dropped off by his parents and sneak in.
Oh my God.
So yep. But we got in there and we watched them, and he knew who they were. I had no clue. I'd heard 2 songs of theirs, and then after watching just their stage show, their sound, the way they presented themselves, I became an instant fan.
Yeah.
Like I just couldn't get enough of it, and then so I followed Krizz and his career for so long, and just the fact too that a lot of his music and message is based around mental health.
Yeah.
He every day battles with it to this day. Even though he hasn't managed, he still battles with it.
Yep.
He's still got the dark thoughts. He's still got those deep parts of his mind that he seeps into even after the success he's had. Like,
Right.
So I mean, just goes to show that he's a normal guy. And I went through phases of that in my life, and like a lot of his music really got me through those dark times.
I love that.
Because I felt like it wasn't just some other music I was listening to, that it's like,
Something you connected to.
yes, like it grabbed me at my heart, and like, and so I fell in love with that and just followed him for so many years. And then about COVID time, he had left Strange Music after 20 years and started his own label called Earhouse. So I kind of followed them for a little bit, and they came to Iowa twice, and both shows my buddies were putting on.
Okay.
They had brought him up there, so I was like, hey, I'll come film this for free. Let me just film him.
Smart.
And they're like, okay, cool. So I did that, loved it. They were such great shows. One was actually in my hometown in Newton, which I said from the day one, I was like, that's my dream. If Krizz Kaliko would come there and perform there, I could die happy.
Yeah.
And he was there performing. I'm like, this is nuts. And it sold out. So I just I knew that his wife was his manager, and I connected with her. I networked. Just got talking to her. Just was myself. She enjoyed my company, and yeah, I was like, hey, I got this footage. I'm gonna send it off to you if that's cool. And she's like, yeah. So I did that, and about 2 months later, I got a call saying, hey, you need travel.
Oh my God.
I didn't even check with my work at the time. I'm like, yep, I can do it. And she's like, all right, cool. We're going to Ohio for the Gathering of the Juggalos, ICP's big 4-day festival, which was insane.
That was your first gig with him, was Juggalos?
That was my first gig.
Damn, dude.
And it was such a good time.
Yeah.